Hi, this is IK. Welcome to React Redux useSelector. In Redux store, there is a state. It is object with 7 properties. Every property is object again. That object, there is a value. And state.counter1.value is connected with the variable count, at React component. State.counter1.value is connected in Redux store, is connected with count, variable count, in React component. Here it is. Same is for other 6 properties of state. Counter, it is counter1, counter, state.counter.value. useSelector is hook, is function, and that function connect value with variable count in a React component. Here it is counter, and now comment here, add comment form. Add comment is only dispatch, but a list of comment, comments list, there is a hook useSelector from package React Redux. And here it is. Variable comments is connected with the state.comments. State.comments. Because here we need all array. There is more comments, and it is array, and we need in list all array of comments, not one. Comments, post list is as comment. Look at here. It is state.posts. It is array of posts. Is connected with object post in a variable in React component. Left side is React component, and right and the data in arrow function in parameter here is data from Redux store. Again, React Redux, and useSelector connect that two objects. Connect object state.posts with object posts. It is post list, reaction buttons, there is no reaction buttons, have only dispatch. Replies one list is here. Object replies one equal useSelector, and parameter is state, and state dot replace one in body of arrow function. Connection replace one is in a React component. This object in React component is connected, is equal state replies one. It is in computer, in hardware, it is directly connection, and it is wired connection between that two object replies one in React and state dot replies one in Redux, and every mutate in state dot replace one immediately reflect to mutate constant replace one in React component. It is here. That scripting React, what we look at now, must go to a Boolean algebra in computer, must go to semiconductor switches, contactless switches, billions and billions switches in computers, and that statement, that expression must be translated in binary code, must be translated in machine code, 1 0 1 0, etc. And it means 1 and 0 when coming in computers, it is switches, real switches, and that switches always get open and closed, open, closed, and that billion switches inside computers is in direct relation with assembler programs. That assembler programs is written by assembly language, and this program, what we look at now, it is a high-level language, JavaScript, and that high-level language, there is maybe 100 statement in machine language, in assembly language, will have 1,000 and 1,000 instructions, and every instructions is directly switch on, switch off hardware switches, contactless switches, semiconductor switches, transistor switches, and billion of switches runtime is runtime of our application, React application, what we look now. And every statement in our JavaScript language here means translation to 1001110, etc. Binary code, and a lot of binary instructions, a lot of instructions in assembler is equal this one statement, every one statement here. And constructions of computers, of hardware, is directly hardware is directly connected with with assembler, with instructions in assembler. And when we can apostrophe it, or metaphor of it, of this statement, can be electric wire, copper wire, for example. One end is switch and a voltage, electricity, for example 5 volts, and other end is light. And when switch closed, voltage go to electricity go to light, and light is visible. Light is but when switch is off, light is turn off. Okay, switch is on, light is light is run on, turn on, turn off. And because of that wire, we have directly connection light and switch, and state of switch 1 or 0 is directly mutate of switch, change state of light. And like this, it is every statement in JavaScript. And this statement we can see like that. Because of that, useSelector, now useSelector is that copper conductor between switch and replies 1, and between replies 1 and state replies 1, and replies 1. And when useSelector, when replies 1, state.replies1 mutate, immediately the changes mutate and the left side of equation. Okay, let's go to see other. It is replies list. Look at here. useSelector. Switch between constant replies in React component and state.replies in a store, Redux store. It is replies as single post page, useSelector, and here it is a constant post, one post equal useSelector, and parameter is state.post.find arrow function post ID equal post ID, and here I didn't create more variable, but all solution is by only one variable post equal useSelector is this is useSelector state.post, and I continue with the method find, etc. But now in this video I talk about this, about left side is object post in React component, and right side is state.post, and between them is useSelector, wire copper, and waiting that state.post mutate, and on every mutate immediately through that copper wire go that state to left side constant post. Time ago, coming directly from time, users list. Here it is object users left side equal state.users. State.users is in Redux store, and constant users left side is in React component, and they directly connected with the user selector, and when mutate state.users, immediately we can see that in list of users. We can see that in left side object users. I said all useSelector. Contrary to useSelector is useDispatch. useDispatch connect action from React component, connect with reducer in store. We can look at now, for example, counter. Here it is, counter.js. Counter.js, here is useDispatch, useSelector, and useDispatch coming from React Redux. They connect React Redux. They don't come from React, don't come from Redux toolkit, they come from React Redux. But Redux coming from Redux toolkit. Counter.js, here it is. This expression, there is a left side and the right. It is left side, we declare object dispatch and equal function useDispatch. With this instruction, with this statement, expressions, we have, after this expression, we have store.dispatch and method dispatch of store. Store have method dispatch, and that store method dispatch, when we click, it is counter. When we click on here it is add value, increment amount. When we click on button, we activate arrow function without parameter, and in body of arrow function we have that method of store dispatch. That method is function dispatch, and that method dispatch there is a parameter increment by amount. Increment by amount is action creator. Action creator is function. Parameter of that function is increment value. And by this statement, by this expression, we have a connection. Action connect with the store with reducer. Connect with reducer. This dispatch function connect and this expression, of course, all this is important, but concretely I concentrate and focus on this. This is dispatch here is copper wire between action is in a React component, and the dispatch is copper wire from action to reducer. Here it is, from useDispatch action, useDispatch dispatch, method dispatch, take action, connect action with reducer, when we said action, we think action object, because action creator create action object, and to reducer coming action object. Let's get back. This dispatch increment by amount, increment value. It is this part of add amount to any. Now look at this part, dispatch here. It is counter1 counter1.js. We have again this expression. It is a declaration of object dispatch. We now know that here it is object dispatch, constant dispatch equal useDispatch, but that object equal useDispatch, and because of this equation, that object dispatch is name of method means function of store, and that method of store we have here as part of the arrow function, dispatch decrement, and here is decrement without parameter here inside. Decrement is action creator, and it is for 1. Value is always 1. Decrement for 1. And here is increment by 1. Dispatch means copper wire between action and reducer, between action in React component and reducer in Redux. It is counter1. Add comment form. Add comment form is dispatch, not selector. useSelector. We have here useDispatch. Remember, use state is hook for local mutate local state of HTML input and text area. Set author and use state, and use state coming from React. It is only live, that can we say like that, only alive is alive in React component, but useDispatch is alive in React component and Redux useDispatch again. Look at all that is important for learning. All that is repeating and repeating and repeating, and all that you must understand, and after that you begin it right from the scratch, from blank page. And after writing and writing, repeating and repeating, you will now write all this script. Look at, always look panoramic outline. It is architecture of every document. And when you understand that architecture, you go in detail and look at curly brackets. What is open, what closed, pair of curly brackets. And when you look at pair of curly brackets, you will analyze what is inside of that pair curly brackets. Dispatch here, back to dispatch, and here it is dispatch. It is comment form. All that form, post form, comment form, replies form, replies one form is the same. Comment added, and this for parameters here. Dispatch is copper wire between action and reaction in the React component and reducer in Redux store. And when we have copper wire connect between 2 points, immediately mutate of one side of that copper is reflect to other side. One state reflect to other state. And because of that, useSelector and useDispatch they are like they are listening action, dispatch listening action, event, and selector, useSelector listening mutate of state in Redux. If does not mutate, if state not mutate, other side in component there is nothing in, there is no change in presentation, in display. Also, if does not action in a React component, there is no action in input reducer, and if there is no action in input reducer, there is no mutate, state mutate. It is add comment, and all this add replay is same. Here it is useDispatch. Here it is expression. Afterwards we have a method of store, and that method of store we use here. Replay ID, author replay 1. Dispatch is connection between reducer and action, between Redux and React. It is add replay 1. Add replay form is the same. useDispatch, import. Declaration of variable dispatch, object dispatch is here. And now when we have method, we use that method of store, dispatch method of store, and connect action, dispatch action to reducer. replay edit is action creator. Function, parameter of function is these three parameters, and replay edit know what to create. Replay edit know what to create for because in slice we script, we code all what replay edit action creator must create. And in slice I can see replay replace, here it is, replace slice. Here it is, replay edit must there is a reducer, and that reducer, there is a parameter state and action. This state, concretely state, is original state, and action is action type, it's object, action type, and action.payload. What to do with payload? Push to original state. Look at how many sentences about here, how big descriptions about action. Action is big descriptions. What coming, action payload, what to do with that payload, push, to what push, to state push, what state, original state. Does it mutate? Yes, it is mutate, but we don't can mutate state. It is mutate, concretely this means mutate original state, but we must immutable mutate, and this is not immutable mutate, it is directly mutate original state. We can code like this because of Eimer library, what coming with the Redux toolkit also. And the aim of Redux toolkit is to work, to do code instead of us. All that here I speak about, it is all that what I said important to say here, reducer. And because that is a slide can have a lot of reducer. We define and we code all about reducer, and here is prepare function. It is altogether replay edit. Replay edit is action creator, is here it is member of object reducers, and there is a reducer and must have prepare function. Prepare function, there is a parameter comment ID auto replay, and prepare is definition what will be payload. What will be payload? And payload is not that three parameter here, but payload there is reply ID and the date plus that three payload is 5 elements, 5 members. Object payload is object with 5 properties. But here is only properties, it is parameter, what we must type, what we must what must coming from form. Replace slice, author replay, comment ID. Here it is. But I spoke now. Can we go back to dispatch? I want to repeat. I want to slow the script, slow thinking and analyze code, and repeat and repeat and repeat. Because all that this video, series of video, is slowly teaching how I teach myself, and repeating. But if you learn faster and your knowledge is more or less up, you learn by clicking through video and go faster through this video, or activate faster, bigger, faster speed of my pronunciation, my talking. But for beginners, I recommend slowly learning, understanding, and repeating and repeating and repeating. In one video cannot to say all, and because it is not. I don't know. I don't know all in my first video in this series, and I video by video I learn more and more, and I talk about that in video and video. It is impossible to know all and write, and it will be no logical. It is not in practice, and better to stay on the short, and when we must stay on one video and repeat that part, repeat. Why? To create many hours one long video, and it is not practical for upload, for publish. It must be one day publish, one day render local, and one day by night maybe publish. It is because of that my digression in repeating something what I said before. No, not repeating is not wasting time. My repeating, you can jump ahead, skip, you can skip in video, but somebody my repeating can help and suggest that you repeating your knowledge and exercise. Dispatch dispatch complete edit post form. Edit post form. useDispatch. Edit this expressions, and on save post click we have this expression. Dispatch method of store, connect React and Redux, connect action and reducer. Reducer is a library, and there is actors, new actors in our learning process, and every actors there is a name, and about every name of actors is reducer, reducer, state, action, dispatch, selector, and we need time for accept all that actors. Okay. Edit post also, edit post. This is dispatch post update. Here is post author. Post author there is only useSelector. Post list only useSelector. And I think I talk about all component, and we will see that repeating same statement, same expressions, and by practice and by time of learning, by time of exercise, will not be problem to be one experienced developer. If you know somebody that need a video as this one, talk about that. Talk about this video on your network, in your social media. If you like it. If you want to subscribe it. Comment. All that together help all community. Every video there is a community, and community is richer, and value of video is bigger for all of us. For me as author, when is your engagement, it is all very, very useful for me as author, and also for people who coming here and look at this video. Thank you for watching this video.